In this lesson, we will look at modifying data values. That is, recording and binning data that has already been entered into the data editor. In this lesson, you will learn to use variable binning to group a scale variable. You will learn to automatically record a string variable to a numeric variable, and you will review recording for category variables. Binning is used to group categories together or to convert a continuous variable into one with a smaller number of categories. This can make your tables and graphs much easier for your readers to understand. Visual binning is used to create a grouped version of an ordinal or scale variable, but not nominal ones. It is a transformation and not a procedure. It does not create any output in the output viewer box, but it does create new variables, and these are automatically entered in both the variable view and the data editor. The visual binning procedure starts by choosing Transform and Visual Binning from the menu bar. When the dialog box opens, select the variable to be binned and move it to the Variables to Bin box, and select Continue. When the Visual Binning dialog box opens, the bar chart for your chosen variable will be displayed. Enter the name for your new binned variable and enter a label for this new variable. A default name is usually given, but this can be changed. Select the Make Cut Points button to choose your method of binning. You can choose equal width intervals, which generate binned categories of equal widths, for example 1 to 10 and 11 to 20, or equal percentiles based on scanned cases, which generates binned categories with equal numbers of cases in each band, or cut points at means and selected standard deviations based on scanned cases. The Make Labels buttons allow you to create automatic labels that list the upper and lower endpoints of each bin. These labels are automatically entered into the table in the Visual Binning dialog box. Now I will use the Transform Variable Binning to transform the age variable into a new variable that will have 3 categories. That will be up to 35, 35 to 64, and 65 and over. I'll call this new variable age_grouped, and I'll label it age-grouped. I will then click on Make Cut Points. My first cut point will be 35. The number of cut points would be 2, and the width would be 29. Notice my first cut point and my second cut point are marked on the frequency diagram. Notice they're in the table as well. Now I will click Make Labels. You'll see the label is less than or equal to 35, 36 to 64, and 65 and above. Click OK. You will notice that there's no readable output. But if we go back to the variable view, you'll see that there's a whole new variable created, and it's called age_grouped. Let's just look at the descriptive statistics for these. And so I will go to the frequencies, statistics, age_grouped, and I'll click OK. And you will see that SPSS creates a table with for age less than 35, 36 to 64, and 65 and above. And refuse to answer is also in there. To record different variables, from the menu bar choose Transform, Record into Different Variables. When the Record into Different Variables dialog box opens, place the variable to be recorded in the numeric variable box. Name the new variable in the output variable box and select Change to add to the output variable list. Select old and new values to input record specifications. When the Recode into different variables old and new values dialog box opens. There are 4 ways to specify old values. You can specify a single value using the value box. You can specify any missing values using either the system missing or system or user missing buttons. You can specify a range of values using the range box, or you can choose all other values for all values that were not specified. You can specify new values in 3 ways. You can input a specific value, you can use system missing, or you can copy an old value. To demonstrate recoding, we will create a new variable from the variable marital status. The variable currently has the following coding: 1 married, 2 widowed, 3 divorced, 4 separated, 5 never married, and 9 refused to answer. Our task is to create a new variable called marital_3 with only 3 categories: 1 married, which corresponds to 1 married, 2 never married, which corresponds to 5 never married, and 3 other, which corresponds to widowed, divorced, or separated. To do this, we go to the transform, recode into different variables, and we enter the variable marital in the input variable box. We name the new variable marital_3. And we select the change button. Then we click on the old and new values. In the old value area, select value and specify 1, which corresponds to married. In the new value area, specify 1, which will correspond to married, and click add. In the old value area, select value 5. In the new value area, select value and specify 2, which will correspond to never married, and click add. In the old value area, select range 2 through 4, which would correspond to widowed, divorced, and separated. And in the new value area, select 3, which would correspond to other, and select add. The initial value for all numeric variables in SPSS is the system missing value. Cases containing values that have not been specified will have the system missing value on the new variable. We have specified recodes for 5 of the values, but we have not mentioned the value 9. Those are the cases where they refuse to answer. So these will be system missing on marital_3. This may be acceptable, but if we want to label the categories refuse to answer, we need to retain the value of 9. So in the new variable, to do this, we go to the old value area and select all other values. In the new value area, we simply select copy old values and we select add. Click on continue. In the output box, there is no real readable data that's available. But if you go to the data view, you will see that the new variable is added on the right of the table. Go back to the variable view and look at the variable marital_3. Change the number of decimals to 0, and then we will add the value labels. Value 1 would be married, value 2 would correspond to never married, value 3 would correspond to other, and value 9 would correspond to refused to answer. And click OK. It's common to have to do this after recoding. And make sure that the measurement is set to nominal. Now, we want to ensure that the recoding was done correctly. So we're going to analyze the frequencies to see if it was done correctly. So we will look at the frequencies for both marital status and marital underscore 3 to see that they were recoded correctly. We see that we have 164 respondents who are widowed, 281 who are divorced, and 70 who are separated. That's a total of 515 respondents who should be in the other category of marital underscore 3. And we see that that is correct. So we have successfully recoded our marital status variable into marital underscore 3. To recode a variable, from the menu bar, choose Transform Automatic Recode. You can select the variables to be recoded and move them to the variable new name box. Enter a name for the recoded variable in the new name box and add it. You can change the sort order of string values so that it begins in alphabetical order. If there is more than one variable to recode, you can select Use the same coding scheme for all your variables. And you can choose to treat blank values as users missing values as well. The template area of this dialog box allows you to apply an existing template for your new recode.